again having technical difficulties. The Celtics with many technical difficulties.
Yep.
Jake, Jackson, boys, not great.
Yeah, that's
You could say that.
unfortunate, man. We were so fucking close. I guess we weren't that close because the end was never close. But like, we are so close. We are so close, and just like the blue balls. I definitely prefer this loss though than like if we would have had like a crushing, clutch loss when it felt like we could taste the trophy. Then I'd much rather, like, we knew the game was pretty much over by halftime. So that was kind of nice of them to do that to us.
The equation has remained exactly the same. You need to win one game. You now just have 3 stabs at it instead of 4. I agree. If you're going to be as positive as you possibly can, because there's going to be a lot of doomer takes and there's going to be a lot of, superstitious skepticism that's going to arise from this. And that's natural because I'm feeling it right now too. I'm just going to choose to look at the facts. The fact is 156-0 when a team is up 3-0 in the playoffs. Help me out here. What else? That's kind of the one. That's kind of the one that I lean on the most.
Most important.
I'm just laughing at people disagreeing with me. They would have preferred a close loss. I don't know. I'd give me the rip the Band-Aid off, man. I think I spin this as like you can completely flush this game. Like, we know who the Celtics are for the entire season. They've been incredible. They are 79-21 on the season plus the playoffs. They are incredible after losses. They've bounced back from from any of the blowout losses, big bounce back performances. But yeah, Nenad says it best probably. It's a loss whether you win by 1 or lose by 38, which is slightly short of the finals record of, I don't know, Spoonie, where do you think this went wrong?
I don't know. Vin Diesel said that, right? It's a mile or an inch or whatever. He used to lose the race. It just felt like when they came out, Dallas was the hungrier team. That's kind of like tropey, like bullshit analysis, but it's true, man. Like the Celtics had nothing to really play for. Dallas is playing for the Celtics had everything to play for, but also they had 4 shots at it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where Dallas they're playing for pride essentially, and that can be a big motivator. Some weird bounces early in the game where it's like some free throw or some layups just clanking out, some threes like rattling out. Dallas getting like rebounds that are just kind of bouncing to them. And it all just, Scott Foster is literally nicknamed the Extender. He has some absurd record when he's reffing elimination games before Game 7 that the team who's down wins like 90% of those games. I'm not blaming the refs, but it can take you out of the game when everything's going against you. And there's some like ticky-tacky calls. It just felt like, man, it's just not your night some nights. And by God, was this not the Celtics night? But hey, not the biggest loss in finals history. So, big dub there. Thank you, Pritch.
Yeah, I wish that, like, teams are 156-0, down 3-0. I wish it was like 152-3.
Yeah.
Like,
can happen.
The specter of being the first is way more terrifying than just losing almost the finals in this weird way, which it shouldn't be, but it just adds like extra anguish.
Yeah. So there's that. For you. Yeah, there's that. And then there's also the, like, you go up 3-0, like to this comment from Eric Weiss here where, everyone's reflective, everyone's dancing, everyone's graves online, and we're writing the eulogies. Because no one's ever done it, it feels like it's over. But if, like, the Celtics had pulled it off last year, for example, and then lost to Denver, and then now they're here, everyone would be like, well, the fucking Celtics did it last year. Anyone can do it. So I wish which obviously that doesn't really matter at all. I just, for my own personal sanctity and for like their own mentality coming into Game 4, because no one's ever come back from that, you just feel like it's over. And so it probably is over. But oh man, I just the thoughts are creeping in. But man, you start the game and the offense just could not get going. Tatum was the only one that was competent in the first half. Jalen was asleep at the wheel again. That's two first halves in a row for Jalen being a bit asleep at the wheel to start. Mm-hmm. He had that one play where he sucked down. Pritchard was guarding. Was it Pritchard's guarding? I don't know. Someone was guarding Luka, and Jalen was in no man's land. Yeah, it's Tillman guarding Luka.
Yeah.
And Tillman was going to force everything that we've been doing. Force the mid-range jump shots. That's what was about to happen. Jalen sucks into no man's land, kicks it to, I don't even remember who, but he hits the three, and that felt like
Lively.
Yeah, Exum or Lively. Well, there was another Lively one. I'm not too upset about helping off Lively, but that felt emblematic of like where the mentality was. They've been so on point with their defensive game plan every game in this series, and they weren't tonight. The offense was impacting the defense was impacting the offense. It was a mess.
Yeah, I felt like you don't want to blame the refs, but there was definitely a lenient whistle in the first quarter for sure. When the whistle wasn't going against us, just the utter lack of urgency on the glass led to a lot of second chance points. And then when your shooting abandons you, and then for the first time this series, you get the Dallas role players showing up shooting threes, which, let's face it, like that was an entirely predictable, trend that would happen. Your role players can suck on the road. They're going to be much better at home. I'm amazed it didn't happen last game, because if this happened last game, it would be a DEFCON, maybe not, I don't know. Maybe people would be like the same mentality of you flush it and you move on. But like the series is very much alive, and you're very much thinking, oh shit, we're in an arm wrestle now. Whereas now we're sitting here and the series is very much alive. Like, don't get me wrong, there's another game to go. But now we're discussing the whole, oh God, please don't let us be the first team out of 157 to blow something, rather than, oh shit, we are now in the wars. There's just different levels to that too. So I think it's like Spoonie said, it's tropey, it's cliche to say, one team wants it, the other team didn't. But I think it was very clear from the offset that one team was playing with intensity, one team was desperate, and the other team probably, like us, we mentally thought, okay, the title is secured. It's just now a matter of time. And that's a horrible mentality to have. But what are you going to do? Like, it didn't go wrong. It didn't go right. It went very wrong.
It went very wrong.
Very wrong.
Human nature is impossible to overcome in some ways, right? Like when you're up 3-0, it's really hard to sweep series. Most series don't end in sweeps. And like the gentleman's sweep, where you win 3 straight, lose game 4, and then win the 5th game at home, is very much a thing. And then like Heisenberg said it in the chat there, like our drive and kick game was non-existent. I felt like we just were like, oh, I'm at the rim, I better finish this. And we were trying to finish over help. Like all the things we weren't doing, letting Dallas dictate the way we play offense by like, they're going to help at the rim, so move the ball, multiple driving kicks, and we'll completely eviscerate them. We just didn't do it early, and then the game just got completely away from us, man. Like, sometimes they were hitting shots, the role players were hitting shots, Luka and Kyrie were going bonkers from mid-range and getting to the rim, and the defensive effort just wasn't really there tonight. And that's, this team has a proclivity for getting blown the fuck out sometimes. Like, they do. It happens.
Do they?
Like,
Of the 20 losses, sorry, Spoon, of the 20 losses we've had this year, how many of those have been like ugly ass blowouts where you just got your head in your hands from 5 minutes in? I reckon at least 5 or 6, a significant
that's what I mean.
percentage.
That's a big percentage of losses, right? Like 25% of your losses being blown the fuck out. Like, and we've lost 3 times in the playoffs now. 2 of them are massive blowouts.
Trying to figure out if I can find this right in this moment, but it's going to be very difficult. How do I filter by losses? There we go. It's going to be too hard to do it in the moment, but
Well,
I think Bucks,
2
Clippers,
losses.
Bucks, Clippers.
Yeah.
Those are 2. The Magic was close till the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
But a blowout, essentially.
Okay. But then other than that,
And 2 in the playoffs.
Well, 2 in the playoffs. So that's what,
So
4
that's
out of 20.
5 out of
5 out of 21?
Yeah, that's 25%.
But so there's 4 types of losses. There's close ones, And this goes back to Greeny's thing. So they're not allowed to lose close games. They're not allowed to get blown out. They're not allowed to lose by 10. They did so.
I'm not hating on them for this loss at all.
Can I say?
I'm just saying this shit happens, man. Kind of to this team some ways.
That last game against the Knicks, I think it only ended up being a loss by 10, but that was 35 or some bullshit at halftime too. So that's a blowout in my opinion. So add another one.
See, I don't count that one because it was in late March and so who cares about those because they weren't trying in those games. Whatever, dude. They fucking lost by a lot. It all counts for one. 1 point loss, 40-point loss. The 67-win Warriors team, the KD Warriors, up 3-0 on the Cavaliers with Kyrie Irving on that team. The Cavaliers put up 49 points in the first quarter of Game 4, and that was essentially the end of the game. So, happens to a team as good as the KD Warriors.
This isn't uncharted waters for all teams in NBA history. You know what I mean? And as good as this team is, this isn't uncommon. That's uncommon what I mean. To do. It sucks so much ass that you had the chance to win a title now, and that's what you serve up. But I mean, I don't think anyone on that plane back to Boston tonight, on the Celtics plane, is going to be sitting there going, "Oh no, what have we done?" They're going to be stewing. They're going to be sitting there, and then they'll be like, "I can't fucking believe I played like such an asshole." Drew Holiday in particular. I don't want to shout out Drew Holiday in particular for being bad. Derek as well. This we've seen this. We've got 100 samples of this team to watch so far. There is nothing that tells me that they are going to be rattled or they are going to be incapable of correcting this by the next game. We can all your doomer takes and all of your panic stations. We can have that discussion if Game 5 goes like this or if Game 5 is a loss. But I just don't believe it will be. I just don't think it will be.
I'm with you, Jackson. I think they're going to blow them the fuck out in Game 5. The Celtics, that is, not the Mavs. But Garden Report started about the exact same time we did, so we should probably get off here. But Jake, start us off. You got any final thoughts before we head into 2 goddamn days off, which sucks. I wish the game was tomorrow, but what do you got for us?
Just lock the fuck in. And it goes back to the controlling what you can control. And that leads to all the good things. Getting to loose balls, rebounding, defensive assignments, executing the game plan. Commit, just be solid and be the harder playing team. Be the team that punches first. And just be willing and ready to fight for the fucking championship, dude. You're right there. Let's get it done.
If you went back to the start of the season or any point of the season and said you will be at 3 wins in the finals, regardless of the context, regardless of the opponent, the injuries, the way it got to 3 or whatever, you would have taken that in a second. Guess what? We've got 3 wins and we've got 3 shots at a title, okay? Sucks today. Relax. Believe this team. Believe in this team.
They're going to win it on Monday. It's over. Let's go. Please, Celtics. We all need it. We got to go. Jump over to the Garden Report. Everyone, thank you for joining us. We are out. Oh, and late night later. I got to say that. Maybe. That's a maybe.
That's a maybe. Just stay. Yeah, that's a maybe.
For the real masochists.
All right. Later, guys. See ya.
I love the Celtics!